Crack open a homebrewski, because today we're talking about slaghogs. Planar rifts can be found in every corner of the known world, often manifesting in locations that closely match the corresponding plane. For example, rifts to the Shadowfell can temporarily open in an open battlefield once the warring has settled. Coral gateways can create artificial vacuum currents to the plane of water, and active volcanoes can conjure obsidian doorways to the plane of fire. The magic that surrounds a portal is not only powerful, but also mutative. Any prolonged exposure to a planar rift can result in a metamorphosis to the surrounding ecosystem, reshaping the terrain and augmenting nearby creatures. The Phacochirus ignis, or the Slaghog as it's commonly referred to as, is a creature resulting of such exposure. The physiology of this creature has been entirely reconstructed to accommodate what is typically considered uninhabitably heated temperatures. The entirety of its skeletal structure has been seemingly fortified with metal minerals, allowing it to withstand direct exposure to magma for hours without damage, and its skin now shares similar texture and toughness to that of igneous stone. The behavior of hogs is typically wary and skittish. However, the Slaghog's mannerisms have also shifted during the mutation. They are often seen lazing about hot springs and roiling magma pools, preferring to idle in warm environments rather than spending long hours searching for mushrooms and berries. The diet of the Slaghog is also something of interest, as they seem to be able to sustain themselves entirely on raw mineral diets. Raw mineral, of course, referring to multiple observed instances of the fiery beast quite literally eating rocks for hours at end before sleeping it off. The domestication of Slaghogs is very much still a work in progress for many cultures. Fire giants have taken a liking to breeding them for their precious meat that only their kind can truly appreciate. The pigs, of course, are also ideal for disposing of metal scraps that cannot be melted down in their forges, lest the impure alloys taint their precious steel. Others who have tried their hand at taming the beast find that while making a slaghog like you isn't too difficult to task, mostly by just feeding them precious stones, their affection can be deadly. A single lick or nuzzle from the fireboard can result in a painful third-degree burn that often requires a little more than your standard healing magic to entirely fix. Monster hunters relish the opportunity to hunt slaghogs, as their elemental physiology contains several magical components that are positively precious in the right hands of artificers, alchemists, smiths, and enchanters. Their brassy tusks are prized for their many uses in the world of arcane items. Rune carvers know that their horns are ideal conduits for heat, and that by scribing a singular runic seal atop a leather lid after hollowing out the horn, they can create what is essentially a thermos capable of instantly boiling the liquid inside only using one's action. This volcanic drinking horn is a convenient tool for any adventuring band, as having the ability to douse a foe in boiling water is also always a nifty trick to have up your sleeve, as the damage is excruciating and can even blind your target. A seasoned transmuter would also hold vested interest in the slaghog tusks, for they know the secrets of their alchemical composition. When ground into a fine powder, alchemists have observed that slaghog tusks share a remarkable similarity to red iron oxide, a key ingredient in explosives such as thermite. When mixed with other powdered metals and sulfur, the result is what some might refer to as a super explosive called flashfire powder. This powder is incredibly volatile and capable of leveling small mountains when used in bulk. On the smaller scale, riflemen and other black powder appliances can easily utilize flashfire powder to great effect, giving all those weapons just a little more cowbell. When a bulk of the powder is improperly ignited, the explosion conflagrates the very air within 30 feet of the explosion, immolating all nearby objects and creatures within a sudden blink of flame, hence its namesake. The tusks, however, are not the only biological component coveted by alchemists. The slaghog's innate ability to excrete a superheated saliva is due to an organ at the back of their throats known as the magnetic gland. When alchemically synthesized, it can be used to brew quite the fiery concoction. The potion of slag spitting was originally commissioned by militant evokers who couldn't afford the luxury of bottling dragon's breath. However, they quickly changed their minds after experiencing the grossly uncomfortable sensation of drilling magma onto their precious robes. There are, of course, other creations possible from the anatomy of the slaghog. For instance, certain warsmiths have found that by expertly enchanting and infusing the tusks after being granted onto weapon bases, they were able to replicate the flame tongue enchantment, however, only for daggers, war picks, and spears, due to the size of the tusks. This concludes our study of the precious elemental porcine. As with all mystical creatures within the infinite realms, a keen mind and a lucky roll will always unlock new possibilities and outcomes. Thank you for following along with us into the steep dive of the dopey slaghog. Please be sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and leave a comment for any suggestions or feedback you may have. We hope you enjoyed your Homebrewski, and we'll see you next time.